Trinidad Ramkissoon has led a double life. On stage, he's a talented young actor on the cusp of a great career. On the streets, he's a former gang member convicted of assaulting a police officer. Though he says he's leaving his unlawful past behind to focus on the road out and up, he isn't entirely cutting ties with the gang he swore allegiance to at the age of 9, the Bloods. I'm Dina Rudick with the backstory, here with Boston Globe reporter James Burnett, whose article tells the complicated story of this troubled and gifted young man. So just tell me a little bit about Trinidad.
Complicated is a really good way to describe him. Trinidad is immensely talented. He's had people tell him in recent years that he's been an actor for much longer than he knew it.
Because of his behavior on the streets, playing different roles?
Yeah, it's because of his behavior on the streets, because of his ability to maintain friendships with the people he's known on the streets while at the same time deeply engaging himself in theater. They're two contrary lifestyles, and yet in order to maintain one, his new life, the acting, he had to
play a role.
Act. Yeah, he had to play a role for his peers in the gang so as not to upset them as well.
I know you met Trinidad by way of another story about a theater company.
Yes.
But what tipped you off that this young man had more than met the eye?
Yeah, I saw that pretty quickly,
just
by virtue of the flag in his back pocket. And by flag, I mean folded bandana, handkerchief.
But as he's walking away, you see this, and what did you think?
As he was walking away, I saw the flag, and I said, you know, I doubt he has a cold, so there's another purpose for that flag. And I've seen them before, having reported on crime and street life for a number of years. I recognized it.
So what did you say to him?
I just asked him about it directly, and he said it's complicated.
It's not like you said, "Hi, I'm James Burnett, a reporter. Please tell me your whole story," and then he did. I mean, that took a while, right?
It took a while. It took several days. He needed to understand that he could trust me, that this was not a tabloid thing. I was not looking to throw him under any sort of bus. I just wanted to share his story because it was obvious from his actions, from his own words, from the adults who have supported him vigorously in spite of his past. It's obvious that he's really embraced theater.
I would have made a great gangster because if I want something, I'm gonna go get it. But with theater, I'd rather help me realize that there's something more in life and that you could help people in other ways.
Did you talk to any other gang members for the story?
I did, and none of them wanted to be quoted by name. Understandably, they didn't want to be quoted by name because in every case, they are those that I spoke with are still actively involved in gang life.
How did you approach that?
Well, since I didn't know where to find them without Trinidad's help,
okay.
Once I was able to connect with them, I just told them point blank, I'm writing a story about Trinidad and how he's living now versus how he was living before, and I'd like your take.
How did you have to alter the way you reported to report the story?
I had to be a little more patient because I was dealing with a lot of people who lead complicated lives. A lot of young people who lead complicated lives and were obviously at a place in their lives where they were not quite sure which direction they were going to go.
It's also a lot of responsibility. I think when you're writing, you're thinking, what am I saying about these young people who are still forming?
It's not so simple, and this is something that came out as I reported this story. It's not so simple as saying this young man is a member of a gang, therefore this young man is a bad person.
What do you think Trinidad is going to think about the story?
Not sure. I think given his love for spotlight, I think he's going to love that he's in the newspaper. It may bring out some rare bashfulness on his part when he reads about where he was and where he is now.
Now, this is an incredible story. When you come across stories like this, is it exciting for you?
It's very exciting every time I come across a story like this about a real person, an average person who's had some extraordinary event in their lives. The excitement is fresh, anew for me each time.